Hello! Welcome back to Airing It Out with Ari. For this video today, I really wanted to talk about some taboo topics. Maybe not so much taboo lately because it's been in the news a little bit more than it ever has been, actually. Um, and I will obviously jump into all of that in just a second, but I wanted to give a little insight as to why it has such a grasp on me, my heart, and my mind. One, I have two healthy, beautiful, unvaccinated babies. That's right, I said they are not vaccinated. Come at me. um, they have had no problems whatsoever, extremely healthy for their whole lives so far, being almost 3 and 4.5 years old. And even with like colds and sicknesses and stuff, their immune systems are out of this world. They don't stay sick for very long, which is pretty cool to see. Um, I am more of a crunchy mom, if you will. I do not believe in vaccines. I have one of my children, one of two boys, uncircumcised, and that's a whole nother topic for another day. But the first one, the oldest, is, and it wasn't really by my decision, my choice. And I will kind of leave it at that. So, rolling into the topic for today about vaccinations, and especially because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the new guy heading all of the health stuff in the government. I don't even know what his official title is, to be honest. HHS Secretary. Um, Bad on my part. Secretary of Health and Human Services. And he is shaking up the world a little bit, and all of my crunchy moms alongside me are ecstatic because he is taking his fangs and sinking them into dyes in our food and banning, hopefully, all of the nasty, very toxic dyes that the FDA somehow approves to be in our food that we consume. Um, he's also doing stuff about vaccinations, especially with an outbreak of measles in Texas recently. So, your girl doesn't do anything without doing her research, even though I didn't know his official title. Don't hold that against me. I'm not too big on politics, and this is actually probably the only video that I will ever post that has anything to do with politics, but it has such a chokehold on me because it has to do with our kids and our health. So I was looking into some of Robert Kennedy's actions lately, and I found a news article published literally yesterday, talking about how he is going to be gearing up for substantial changes in vaccine policies. Um, and it especially has to revolve around how the federal government messages and the composition of the advisory panel that's responsible for making these recommendations on vaccination schedules. And if you don't know what the vaccination schedule is, I will post a little picture of it if I can figure that out, here somewhere. But basically, by, let's see, I have it pulled up, birth through 6 years old, and you are literally loading your kid up with tons of vaccines. Let's see, but before month 4, you're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 vaccines on the recommended vaccination schedule before your child is 4 months old. That blows my mind. And I'm going to jump into how you can find out if you are a parent or someone who believes in vaccines, and this is nothing against anybody, whether you are someone who believes in it or you're not. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, their own beliefs, their own everything, their own decisions. Just be informed about your decisions. And I will certainly give you a website that you can see everything that is in these vaccinations. You can see the black label, the black box label that doctors don't tell you that each vaccine has. We'll get into that shortly. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. Um, so Kennedy essentially is going to remove quite substantial number of members of the advisory committee on immunization practices due to what he believes is a conflicts of interest. Um, recommending which groups of people should be vaccinated at what doses and when is out there right now. It's even being advertised, especially with influenza A going around like wildfire. They just stopped. They literally canceled a commercial about wild to mild that they were going to put out there for an influenza vaccine. And that brings me to my next point, actually. Think about one, how long influenza has been out there, right? Years and years and years, more than likely, and different types of influenza nonetheless. Um, and now, because it's become a problem, all of a sudden we have a vaccine out of the blue being given to people. Does this remind you of anything? How about COVID? Just saying. COVID was around for a year. COVID didn't even have full approval. I mean, the COVID vaccine didn't even have full approval before being offered to the the, the world. Um, there was not enough studies on it. There was not enough testing on it. There wasn't. It was out for I don't even know, but it was offered to people before it was even ready, and that just blows me out of this freaking water. Um, anyway, so there's a lot of, I don't want to say misinformed. I just feel like there's not enough informed consent being given to people. Like I said, there's a black box label that's supposed to be on every vaccine that doctors don't provide to people. Um, what really what really got my noggin blown was the fact that with each fully vaccinated child, that doctor, that pediatrician gets some real good money shoved in their pockets. So that's why they push vaccinations. That's why they want you to follow that schedule because they earn a fat paycheck at the end of it. Um, and that's another thing that Kennedy is hitting on actually is they're not emphasizing, you know, the vulnerable populations, pregnant women, young children, the immunocompromised people. Like, there's not enough information being told how it can harm all of these people. Nonetheless, healthy people. I don't know if I should bring this up. I have one dear friend. She was my first friend that I made when we moved down to Florida in seventh grade. Um, and if you're watching this, I love you, and I'm totally about to put you and your kids on the spot, and I'm sorry. Um, Not a lot of people know that there is something called vaccine injury out there. It can be anything from mild to extreme in some cases. It really just depends on your body and how you react to things. Um, this friend, she has three beautiful kids. Um, One of her children went in to get, and I'm not going to talk about what shots they were. Um, she took him in and got their recommended scheduled vaccine. And within, I think she had said a few days to a week, it turned from a rash into what looked like third-degree burns all over this baby's body. And she tried everything. She tried oatmeal baths, lotions, creams, antibiotics, steroids, everything you could probably think of to try to help her baby, and nothing was getting better. It wasn't until she started doing detox baths, detoxing the baby's body of the obviously the toxins and the heavy metals that are found in these vaccines and all of the other gross shit in there. It wasn't until she started doing these baths with him religiously that he finally started getting better, and thankfully, thankfully, he has no scarring, no other health issues because of that vaccine injury. Um, Ironically enough, circling back to the COVID vaccine, there was something on Facebook. It was like hashtag save my family or something along those lines, where there were, I couldn't even tell you how many different families posting about the vaccine injury that the COVID vaccine caused. Um, Anything mild from ongoing respiratory issues to severe, like paralysis. Um, People were paralyzed, people were put into comas after the COVID vaccine, and it's crazy and very, very heartbreaking to see. Look into it if you don't believe me. Anyway, back to my rant here. You know, there's there's one line in this article that I'm reading. It says Kennedy's vaccine skeptic views are well known. And while he told the podcaster Lex Fridman in 2023 that some vaccines, quote, are probably averting more problems than they're causing. He also maintained that there's no vaccine that is, safe and effective. Um, he wants to investigate all of these schedules, all of these vaccines, which is great. It's super wonderful because, again, you're not being told what this vaccine is made of. And I really hope that you take a second to go to the link that I'm going to post with all of these. I can't even tell you what's on here. I'm going to read it to you. It's a vaccine guide. It will tell you about the vaccine schedule and inserts, the ingredients, um, the contaminants, the asymptomatic transmission and shedding. Yes, there is vaccine shedding. So if I were to get a vaccine and my kids are not vaccinated at all, I have what's called shedding, and for up to 2 weeks after I get that dose, um, I can protrude different nasty chemicals that come from the vaccine. Um, Effectiveness, outbreak, herd immunity, necessity of vaccination, adverse reaction in events, misconduct, and financial incentives. What did I say about those doctors making a pretty penny? Anyway, I really hope you take the time to go and deep dive. Like, don't be a person, don't be a sheep, don't be part of the herd. Inform yourself, make informed decisions, whether it's for you, your child, your grandma, your mom, anybody, your dog, even. Like, know what is in these vaccines. Know what you're putting into your body. That's all that I can ask for. And if you're not someone that wants to hear about any of this, bye. Move it along. Go to the next video. No one has any reason to be staying on this video listening to what I sit here and chat about if you don't want to. Like I said, everyone is entitled to their own opinions, their own beliefs, their own anything. You are your own person. Just try to be smarter about medical stuff. If you're recommended for a vaccine, take your time. Don't make a decision right then and there. Think about your health. Think about what's in the vaccine. Think about potential symptoms after you have the vaccine. Just do your research. Oh my God, if I can't instill anything into anybody from these videos at all, I hope the one takeaway from any of my videos is do your research. That's it. Anyway, that is my rant for the day. Excuse this mess. I literally wanted to jump on while my kids are asleep, and I had 15 to 20 minutes to sit here and rant and rave to you guys about this. It's also super exciting that this is actually, there's someone in office or whatever you want to call it in the government now that's taking this by the balls and trying to do something about it. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Y'all have a good day. See you on the next shit show.